Standing tall, we're gonna fight it all. We're gonna run the world again. The words are written deep within our hearts. So stand up tall, we're gonna fight it all. Where we go,
So let's get into the deep state, because it sounds like that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
What is it?
It is an apolitical entity that operates in government to service itself instead of the American people. And what I mean by that is it's leadership positions across government, whether it's DOJ, FBI, DOD, CIA, whatever, combined with underlying positions that are pretty senior up, who work with mainstream media entities to perpetuate frauds on the American people, to commit government corruption, and to stay in power, and to lie to the American people, and to rob them of the truth. Once the truth gets out, their corruption's going to be exposed. They might get prosecuted for breaking the law. And once that happens, you have an explosion in D.C.
We will totally obliterate the deep state.
Trump do not sleep. He don't play by no rules. Used to say, will your president be awake at 3 o'clock in the morning to answer the phone if it rings? Shit, yeah, our president is up. Our president is a vampire. That motherfucker sent 23 tweets at 12:30. What the fuck is you talking about? That motherfucker is on it. Trump don't give a fuck. That motherfucker is on it, whatever the fuck it is. Every time he wake up, he just sign another piece of paper. Wait till they see this when they wake the fuck up, since they want to talk. We used to just being able to watch the news a little bit and then walk off. Not with Trump. Niggas is watching the news like it's the playoffs. Trump don't give a fuck. Trump don't follow nobody's rules. The president supposed to be at the White House. Our president is wherever the fuck he wanna be.
Well, I know men said to me, and I'm forced filled with pain, way away, young man. Said I'm gonna fight a war, gonna fight for my country in some foreign land. He said the sun
tomorrow. Wheel in the sky keeps on turning. Oh, I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. Wheel in the sky keeps on turning. Oh, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. Wheel in the sky keeps on turning. Don't know where I'll be tomorrow. Ooh, the wheel in the sky keeps turning. Wheel in the sky keeps on turning.
On this vote, the ayes are 218, the nays are 211, with one answering present. The resolution is adopted.
Censuring Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota. On January 27, 2024, Representative Omar gave remarks at an event in Minneapolis in which she made treasonous statements. Whereas Representative Omar said she has spoken to many Somalians who asked her to intercede for the Somali government by pressuring the United States government into certain actions. Whereas Representative Omar assured the Somalians she spoke to, the U.S. government will only do what Somalians in the U.S. tell them to do. They will do what we want and nothing else. They must follow our orders, and that is how we will safeguard the interest of Somalia. Whereas Representative Omar continued, for as long as I am in U.S. Congress, Somalia will never be in danger. Its waters will not be stolen by Ethiopia or others. Sleep in comfort knowing I am here to protect the interest of Somalia from inside the U.S. system.
Well, it's all right, riding around in the breeze. Well, it's all right, if you live the life you please. Well, it's all right, doing the best you can. Well, it's all right, as long as you lend a hand.
You can sit around and wait for the phone to ring, waiting for someone to tell you everything. Sit around and wonder what tomorrow will bring. Maybe a diamond ring.
Well, it's all right, even if they say you're wrong. Well, it's all right, sometimes you gotta be strong. Well, it's all right, as long as you got somewhere to lay. Well, it's all right, every day is Judgment Day.
Maybe somewhere down the road away, you'll think of me and wonder where I am these days. Maybe somewhere down the road when somebody plays Purple Haze.
Well, it's all right, even when push comes to shove. Well, it's all right, if you got someone to love. Well, it's all right, everything will work out fine. Well, it's all right, we're going to the end of the line.
Don't have to be ashamed of the car I drive. I'm just glad to be here, happy to be alive. And it don't matter if you're by my side, I'm satisfied.
Well, it's all right, even if you're old and gray.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Every lie will be revealed. They're killing our children. Send them to jail. Put them in front of a firing squad. They are committing acts against humanity. The penalty for an act against humanity is death. Take them out. Whoever Q is. Q does not like child sex trafficking. Q does not like the Illuminati. Q does not like satanic worship. Do you? If the Pope is still alive. But when you send it to the Pope, don't ask him to pay for it, because I don't think he's got much money these days. God is a God of love. But God is a God of wrath. And when you mess with the little children, watch out. Because your day is coming soon. Here you go, Newsweek. Watch this one. There you go. I'm not afraid to talk about it. They've accused me of being a QAnon conspiracy theorist. Why? Because they're telling you that I am a bad messenger. They're trying to attack me because they can't attack Q, because Q is the truth. This is about the children, for God's sakes.
It's good to see you guys. Reporting for duty. Once I get some of these settings set, I should be able to move away from the microphone and talk, but it's got a thing where if, like people are screaming in your house, microphone's built so you can only hear my voice. So if I move away, you can't hear anything. But it's good to see you guys. I'm being really lazy tonight, moving things around. I didn't enjoy that green screen very much. What do you guys think about that? So, when YouTube warns you or strikes you, they just vaguely tell you what you did, like misinformation, which was what the video was about on the backup channel. And so I started digging through the video because I wanted to know why they took it down. And it turned out it was very stupid. It was over the Luigi Mangione thing. And I should have caught that, Elaine, that no, he's not dead. And it was by dumb luck that I actually figured it out, because another YouTube video came up about his court thing yesterday. So that's how it goes. But I wish they would just warn you like they did, but say, look, this is what you did wrong. Just retract it. Back in the day, if you guys read the newspaper, every so often they would print something wrong. And if they did, they would just retract it, a few days later, day later. They didn't get canceled out. They didn't get taken down. It happens. People make mistakes. All right, so we got a lot we'll take a look at tonight. Some new news. We're going to look at new news. I bet you're all excited about this. I'm sure your wallets could use a break, and your purses. Hopefully not man purses, but women purses. Musk and Trump are in serious talks, really, about sending, I don't know if it's all Americans or all tax-paying Americans. There is a difference there. I've seen both written up. $5,000 using what I read was 20% of the Doge savings. I think they should go 40% and send everyone $10,000, but that's just me. I'm not in charge of the country. But if I am running someday, you can remember that and vote for me. Yeah, I have a feeling this will come through for some reason. I think they know that people know, they know we know, and we know that they know that we know they know we know, you know? And so it's something does have to happen in that regard with all this money before people start really freaking out. This was a cool post today from the FBI. Why the hell is Doge here? Are we being laid off? Probably. Likely. We can only hope. These guys are starting to have fun. The posts are getting kind of funny. Kind of cool though too. Going to jail. See, I seen two posts on this today that kind of contradict each other. I seen this one from Conservative Brief that says Tom Homan announces that the ICE raid leaker has been found. But then I seen this one saying Department of Homeland Security to conduct lie detector tests to expose source of ICE raid location leaks. I'm probably going to go with the other one. I don't know what, the accuracy of Slay magazine, but pretty comfortable. Conservative Brief, though, so I'm pretty sure I saw something about this yesterday. But anyway, it's good news all the same. Did you guys enjoy the AC/DC in the intro? If you're watching live, you saw it. If you're watching this later, you might not see it because they always make me take out copyright things, so might have to take that out. Oh, the Pope. So I've seen a couple things here too. Pope Francis has pneumonia in both lungs. This one says, Pope to undergo intestinal surgery soon. Which is which? It's hard to tell these days, doesn't it? But showing you both nonetheless. They say there's lots of people outside his hospital praying for him. I'm just not sure where they're at. I mean, I see that one guy on the bridge there and her. I don't see lots of people. Not that we shouldn't, pray for our enemies too, including the Pope, but not that that's actually the Pope anyway. So there's that, but she looks heartbroken. All right, moving on other news, and a rainbow did appear over his hospital where he's hospitalized. What does it mean? The Pope's gay? I don't know. Moving on. The JFK Library is forced to close due to sudden dismissal of federal employees, Foundation says. I don't know. Not sure what to think of that. I bet they're doing it out of spite. Okay, maybe not, but this is a little odd. So X was JFK Jr. this whole time. I don't even think I can go there. We'll move on. Bernie, what the hell, when Bernie popped up on stage back in 2015 when Trump first started going around and running, he at least looked a little better than he does now. Trump and his American oligarchs are now openly aligning themselves with Putin and his Russian oligarchs. This Putin-Trump alliance means abandoning our allies, supporting authoritarianism, and undermining our democratic traditions. Calm down there, Bernie. What traditions do you speak of? Are democratic traditions of bending over the average American person? And because I think that's a good tradition to break any time now. Just saying. I wasn't sure about reporting on this, but I've seen it multiple places now, so I'm hopeful it's correct. COVID vaccine faces ban for all Americans in radical U-turn. including the mRNA shot, could face suspension for all age groups in the U.S. under bold new plans supported by key health figures from the Trump administration. Good news, really. Where is everybody tonight? They come on too early? There's nobody here. Oops. Elon Musk warns that the U.S. is headed for bankruptcy unless $1 trillion is slashed from the deficit. I mean, didn't we just save a bunch of money? But on the other hand, weren't we going to crash the dollar anyway or something? I don't know. How it changes. Let's get through this, get to some good videos. U.S. government has officially designated Venezuela's Tren de Aragua and Mexico's Sinaloa cartel as a terrorist organization, which I could have sworn they had already done, but maybe they weren't detailed enough in their explanation of all cartels or terrorist organizations, but maybe they wanted to tell you a little bit more there. President Trump slammed Zelensky, calling him a modestly successful comedian who's done a terrible job. And Elon Musk claims that Zelensky killed an American reporter. Somehow, I don't know. I just can't imagine that. I can't imagine this man here killing anybody. I have realized today that I do not understand Ukrainian comedy whatsoever. I don't know how they find that funny. But either way, Trump's saying it's about time for elections in Ukraine.
We're hearing that Russia wants to force Ukraine to hold new elections in order to sign any kind of a peace deal. Is that something that the U.S. would ever support?
Well, we have a situation where we haven't had elections in Ukraine, where we have martial law, essentially martial law in Ukraine, where the leader in Ukraine, I mean, I hate to say it, but he's down at 4% approval rating, and where a country has been blown to smithereens. You got most of the cities are laying on their sides. The buildings are collapsed. It looks like a massive demolition site. The whole, I mean, so many of the cities. I mean, they haven't done it in Kiev because I guess they don't want to shoot too many rockets in there. They've done it 20%, but they haven't done it 100%. If they wanted to do it 100%, it would probably happen very quickly. But you have cities that are absolutely decimated. And yeah, I would say that, you know, when they want a seat at the table, you could say the people have to, wouldn't the people of Ukraine have to say, like, you know, it's been a long time since we've had an election. That's not a Russia thing. That's something coming from me and coming from many other countries also.
Yeah, there's something weird about that whole situation in Ukraine that I just don't, I don't know. They do need to get rid of that guy, though. What do you guys want to listen to tonight? You know, there is some new Juan Osava, it's short. We could clip it, but there's also some Negative 48 I wanted to listen to in a bit. So there was that other plane crash a lot of you probably seen by now at Marana Regional Airport in Pima County, Arizona. The last report I saw said that 2 people died, but you know how that goes. Somebody else has said it was 2 planes. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but that was what I had last. Seems to be coming every day now. Man, Len Wood is really on the on defense or on offense, I guess you'd say, really, against the Patriot community. He doesn't seem to like Elon Musk, for one. Elon Muskrat's educational background would be worthy of some research. I know he dropped out of his graduate study at Stanford after 2 days. Guess he had better opportunities presented to him. And what has he invented? He did not invent the Tesla electric car. He did not create PayPal or X. You would think a genius would have a long list of accomplishments. It explains how he became the richest man in the world. Yeah, I don't. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is exactly with Elon Musk, or if that's even Elon Musk, frankly. But it's kind of like this stuff here. Kamala Harris signs with major Hollywood agency months after failed presidential bid. Kind of like Biden did back on the 4th, signs with powerhouse agency. And what'd they do? They signed to the same agency, which has a long list of people signed to it, long list of high profile names. So are they just good actors? Is that all it is? They're trying to find a new movie to act in now that this one's about over. Living a life of illusion, aren't we all? Woo! Trump went all out on this one. A modestly successful comedian, Volodymyr Zelensky, talked to United States America and spending $350 billion to go into a war that couldn't be won, that never had to start, really shouldn't have ever started, a war that he, without the U.S. and Trump, will never be able to settle. The United States has spent $200 billion more than Europe, and Europe's money is guaranteed, while the United States will get nothing back. Why didn't Joe Biden demand equalization? Yeah, it kind of goes on and on and on. It is all about a show. That war didn't have to happen. And I don't know what's going on with these Ukrainian people. I think it's Russian people there, really, and then a bunch of outsiders. So maybe Ukraine can be free again someday. Thought this post from the U.S. Marshal Service was kind of cool. On the move. All right. All right. I like it. You're on the move. Good, you should be. Catch somebody. Since the start of COVID, 1500 Pennsylvania Avenue's Gallatin entrance front door of historic Main Treasury Building has been closed. Today, for the first time in almost 5 years, we open those doors. America's back. Another sign of the golden age. So, yay! Cheers, guys. Fact sheet. President Trump reins in independent agencies to restore government that answers to the American people. I don't know exactly what the hell that means, but seems kind of vague. This is from Alex Jones. Massive cover-up underway. Natalie Winter's new bombshell report exposes how Zuckerberg funneled $2 billion into the group suing Trump and Doge. Watch Harrison Smith break it all down. I thought Zuck was all cool now, I thought he was like MAGA now. Apparently not. Who could have foreseen that? The Department of Defense prepares invitation to bring back the troops that were separated for refusing the COVID vaccine. They are finally going to be able to return to the military if they so wish, and rightfully so. It's about time. All right, let's get on with some videos. I wanted to start with negative 48 today, though this isn't the actual one we're going to watch. It's a small clip. Let's start here.
Unfortunately, we have to have this scare event, which isn't a scare event for those that know it's coming. It's necessary to do the job that needs to get done. It's not going to last very long at all. And that's, part of the Great Awakening. That's how it starts. It still doesn't mean we don't have a 10 days of darkness. Sorry to keep you waiting. Complicated business, complicated.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Complicated business. Complicated.
They're going to keep us waiting in many different ways. They've already done that in many different ways.
So I know we've listened to that before, but I thought I'd kind of refresh everybody with it. Do you still think that's the reality of things? Juan O'Sullivan's also said that exact thing. Do you still think that there is a scare event in our future? What do you guys think about that? I'd really like to hear your opinion on it, honestly, because nobody's talked about it much lately, and so I thought it'd be good to get everyone on that subject again. Not to freak people out, but just to, talk about it.
Fun fact, Robert Mueller. You remember that guy? Remember the Mueller report on the fucking fake Russia hoax collusion bullshit? You remember that fucking feeble old man stumbling about while Congress is asking him questions about blah, blah, blah. Guess who he is? Guess who he was? Guess what he did? Robert Mueller was the FBI director on 9/11. Yeah, you remember that? Building 7, the fucking video that came out of the not plane hitting the Pentagon, Scud missile, fucking, yeah, that guy. That's who that dude did. Like, you can't even make this shit up. How did the fucking media leave that fucking little, I don't know, great piece of information out when they're like, oh, this is Robert Mueller, fucking, not once did I ever hear them say, and he was the FBI director that oversaw the fucking 9/11 report that Kash Patel says he's read that said would blow all your minds if you actually knew what happened on 9/11, because if you think planes brought down those buildings, then you probably also took the fucking jab and you thought it was safe and effective, because both of those things are complete bullshit. That shit is made up. People, we are on the fucking brink of it right here. We got 6 days and I fucking hope we make it, but it's gonna be a long 6 days. Holy shit. Godspeed to Donald Trump. Good luck to you all, and long live the Republic.
6 days? 6 days for what? I don't know. Maybe that's old. Seemed new, but I can't believe I forgot that Robert Mueller was FBI director on 9/11. Thought I'd just show you guys that. It's kind of what he called it, the revolving door of criminality. Now, this next one, no offense to you Canadians, okay? It's a response regarding that hockey fight.
We're not going to sit here and let these clowns boo the national anthem. It's Canada. It's barely a country. These idiots drink milk out of a bag. We just aren't having it. Now Brandon Hagel can use his shitty country's shitty healthcare system and get his face fixed. Hopefully the line isn't long. Show some respect for the greatest nation in the history of the universe. Next time Dana White can set it up, and the main event can be Donald Trump versus your punk-ass President Justin Trudeau.
Oh boy. Drink milk out of a bag? Is that true, guys? I'm afraid I don't understand that one. So, but moving on. Speaking of Justin Trudeau, something was going on with him today, and I think I've got the video about it. Let's turn it on here.
Trudeau, Mark Carney, and the Liberal Party of Canada have a brand new bombshell scandal on their hands. Justin Trudeau funneled $573 million into offshore gender and climate initiatives. Seems like a really nice way to spend taxpayers' money. With record inflation, housing, and energy costs, that's where the Liberal NDP coalition spends your money. So it's laughable to see these NDP Liberal politicians try to sound like Canada First conservatives all of a sudden. Mark Carney is posing as the economic voice of the Liberal Party. Will Mark Carney condemn this waste of public taxpayer dollars? Will he condemn the over $60 million spent on ArriveCan? Will he condemn the $2 billion that Chrystia Freeland asked for a company that didn't even exist? Because if he doesn't publicly condemn each of these instances of blatant corruption, he really doesn't care about Canada.
I don't think he cares about Canada. I wouldn't bank on that one. Justin Trudeau, naughty guy. So you guys remember how we found out that the U.S. aid was funding this Iraqi version of Sesame Street? How many of you remember watching Sesame Street at some point in your life, maybe when you were younger? ABCs, all that good stuff. Let's take a look at the Iraq version.
السلام عليكم يا جماعة أهلا وسهلا فيكم خلينا ندللكم على الحروف الأبجدية يلا خلينا نبدأ
So is that real or is it a comedy scene from late night? I honestly don't know because I didn't see the late night episode about it, but I'm hoping that's not real. If we were funding that, somebody's in deep shit. Somebody should be in deep shit anyway. A lot of somebody should be in deep shit. Hopefully they will be in deep shit soon. Moving on. I haven't seen Gene Ho in a while.
All right, everyone, let's go. Woo-woo for you. This is just hypothetical. That's how you know you got to stick around. Because I'm talking about Back to the Future and maybe Donald Trump. Come on, you remember it. 1.1 gigawatts. What was it? The flux capacitor? Okay, I'm not saying time travel is possible. But it's very interesting. Why does Donald Trump want all the stuff in Greenland and even this? 50% cut of Ukraine's mineral riches. By the way, what's talking about there is rare earth elements. There's only 17 of them, by the way. Strange number, but that doesn't matter. One of them, who knew it's Ho? Is actually holmium. It's from the periodic table, number 67. Anyway, what's so special about that? And is that what he wants? All right, come on. I did not invent this thing with Tesla and maybe a time machine and all this stuff. But could you imagine? Remember, it was a flux capacitor. Look at what holmium does. Magnetic flux concentrator. I don't know. Unless all of this is just for minerals for batteries.
So what he's saying there is really interesting. Number one, he's saying there's stuff there that is like rare, not like your gold and silver rare, but like rare shit. Stuff we probably don't even know about. Maybe stuff not even native to this planet. I don't know, but check this out. You think Greenland, I don't know how we always miss this, but check this out.
So there I was, just minding my own business, looking at Google Earth, and this big snow-covered monstrosity is staring me in the face like, why is that covered in snow? I look into Ireland and some other areas around it, Iceland. Ireland gets snow only once a year, 1 day a year. So I keep digging a little bit deeper, and I finally get underneath this cloud cover here, and a few images pop up. And I say, oh, images, what are they? Well, this is what you got, which I'm sure that looks familiar to you, right? Looks just like the pictures they give us of Mars. So I'm just kind of creeping around here and definitely noticing the same kind of undulation changes and same kind of rock, same kind of dirt. Only thing that's missing is that nice little red tint that they pay somebody $150,000 a year to put on there. And then I see little things there. So, well, it's not Mars because they got some weird little tires and little ATVs over there. But I was just kind of looking around, see what we could find. There's another one of those ATVs, some antennas set up. But those mountains, those rocks, definitely exactly like we see on Mars. So I said, I wonder what they're doing out here. What is all this equipment for? I'm sure it can't be NASA, right? Whose orange Hummer is this? Okay, that looks like a NASA symbol. Well, let's dig a little further because I can't really see anything on here other than it certainly looks like a NASA symbol. And I can't read that. Tried. Cameras set up, tents, ATVs, food. They've been there a while. It's not a one-day trip. Got their antennas set up out in the middle of nowhere in Greenland. Another ATV, a leveler equipment. So that was all that picture had. Let's see what this one's got. So this one here said roving the Arctic. So what is that? Doesn't make any sense. So pop in here. See if we can find anything. Again, same kind of mountains. That looks like the same kind of water I've seen before that I thought was water on Mars. Who knows? Zoom in. What's that? Oh, nothing. Just looked like it was funny. So I'll keep kind of going through here and see if it... What the... Yeah. So, I think I found out where Mars is, guys. It's just about 1,000 miles north of me. Not quite the distance that NASA says, but I can't find anybody who's in charge of this. They must be hiding behind these rocks. Oh, no, there they are out in front of everybody, just standing there. Lovely. Clown number 1, clown number 2, and clown number 3. These fools. All right, let's check out some of these other pictures. I saw another one over here. This one says Drill Hill. All right. Let's go in here. Totally looks like the Mars terrain to me. Just need the red filter. Let's see, can we find anything? I just see the mountains. There's the road like we saw on last Monday. I bet you these guys are just scamming us. Nothing this whole way. Definitely looks like Mars terrain, though. All right, let's head back this way.
So you guys get the point, I think. I don't know. There's something weird about Greenland. Where the hell was all the snow? And you know, when you look at that map, it kind of makes you wonder why it is covered in snow when these other areas aren't. Maybe we'll come back to some space later, but let's check out this today in Mississippi.
These are multi-year payouts. Each of these has several more.
Dilbert.
Senator Johnson for a motion to recess. So moved. All in favor say aye. No.
He's
right there. He's right here.
We've got an urge.
Good.
We did. We recessed. Cut the camera.
So Senator Delbert, oh God, I forgot his last name, such and such, collapsed on the Senate floor there today. Moving on. Actually, that might have been yesterday. No, I think that was today. All right, moving forward. Moving forward. So, I've been seeing these interesting objects, these tesseracts, these things, a lot around the Patriot community. And I've been really trying to figure this whole thing out because they're actually really cool looking. And Vincent Kennedy posted the one that he made. They're neat looking. It has something to do with, well, let me put on somebody who can kind of explain it better, because there's actually two pretty good explanations here. One's from Elon Musk. I don't know the whole of this technology, but there's something interesting to do with it.
A tesseract is the three-dimensional shadow of a four-dimensional hypercube that's been unfolded. So if you imagine, you know, when you take a cube, let's say a die, and if you unfolded it out, you'd end up with 6 panels in a roughly crucifix shape. Well, a tesseract is the same thing, but instead of flat panels, each of those faces of the tesseract is a three-dimensional cube. When Cooper enters the tesseract, he finds that it really just shows him one place in space, which is Murph's bedroom, but it shows it at multiple points in time. We came up with this idea that all the objects in the room and the room itself would be leaving these traces in space-time, these world lines. Cooper cannot physically go back in time. He's outside of space and time when he's inside the tesseract. But what he can do is he can send a message into normal space-time. And he can physically move these world lines, or the extrusions as we call them. And that sends a wave traveling along these things, and that enters the room and affects the objects that are inside the room. And this made perfect sense because, again, according to Einstein, that's what gravity is. Gravity is a wave that propagates through space-time.
Kind of made me think of anti-gravity at first, but then I listened to Elon Musk's explanation. It makes me think more like time travel.
Like you could hang out with 30-year-old you?
I mean, the possibilities are endless.
That's so weird.
I mean, just think like how your phone you can record videos on your phone.
Mhm.
Like, there's no way you could remember a video
right
as accurately as your phone or a camera, could. So, if you've got like some version 10 Neuralink, whatever, far in the future, you could recall everything, just like it's a movie.
Crystal clear.
Including the entire sensory experience.
Emotions.
Everything.
Everything.
And play it back.
Do you think you'll be able to
you
share?
can edit it.
Edit it.
Yeah.
So you can change your past?
You could change what you think was your past, yeah.
Well, so if you had like a traumatic
this whole thing
experience,
right now could be a replayed memory.
It could be.
Yeah.
It may be. What's the odds of this being a replayed memory? If you had to guess. It's more than 50%.
There's no way to assign a probability with accuracy here.
Right, but roughly.
Interesting stuff. I can't wait to see more of this technology come out in the future. Yeah, I know we can't play Joe Rogan. I only played a short clip. So apparently we are testing missiles again, guys.
If you were outside around 1 o'clock this morning, you may have seen or heard this. The United States showing off its nuclear readiness with the launch of an unarmed Minuteman III intercontinental ballistic missile from the Vandenberg Space Force Base. This is another view of the launch from the ground there at the base in Santa Barbara County.
Now, because of clear skies, the missile could be seen streaking across the sky from as far away as Oregon, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, and Mexico. The Minuteman travels up to 15,000 miles per hour and can reach targets of more than 6,000 miles away. That means a launch from the Santa Barbara County coast could reach the North Pole, Antarctica, the Philippines, even Spain. Military says the launch is part of routine testing designed to demonstrate that the U.S.'s nuclear deterrent system remains safe, reliable, and effective.
Sort of makes you feel like something's happening, right? Like something more is happening. I wonder, and there's a video I heard today. I think this is it. Let's check it out.
The big three religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, all have prophecies about the appearance of a messianic or a Christ figure during an end time or judgment day scenario. Those prophecies also describe this figure bringing forth a device that comes from the heavenly realm. It can open gateways in space. It can transform humans from flesh and blood into light beings. It is actually at the center of all of the events that are presently unfolding in the Middle East, where people are maneuvering to get control of various sacred sites, all in preparation for what they believe is going to be an unfolding end-time scenario.
An unfolding end-time scenario. Fighting over sacred sites and relics. They showed the Ark of the Covenant there. Is it something capable of turning humans into light beings? That's an interesting, detailed piece of prophecy right there. One I've heard nothing about, frankly, but are we approaching an end-time scenario they don't want to talk about? You know, people have asked Juan about that before, and he always says, not yet. It's not time for that yet. But it always felt like when he said that, he knew for sure that there was something else coming, you know. Are they preparing all this stuff that's happening now, the golden age, everything happening? Is it really preparing us just for something else bigger down the road, a bigger war of sorts? I don't know how to look at that. Most people would like to think we're moving into a time of peace. Sometimes I wonder about that, though, to be honest with you guys. Anyway, I think we will listen to some negative 48 now. And maybe we'll come back afterwards and look at a tiny bit of this one, or look at what they're talking about. It's only like 20 minutes, so yep. That's what we're going to do, guys. So enjoy.
A little late.
No, I get it. 'Cause there's
She's on her side. Turn on him. They do no mofos raising their hands. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I hope so.
Hello.
Loud and clear.
5 by 5.
Loud and clear. 10-4.
Then you understand. Tanner's got his hand. Go for it.
It's happening 138. Are you ready, 138? Second coming Q 138. Beautiful freak 138. I'm in the zone 138. Donald Trump 138. Keep America great 138. A beautiful mind 138. The magic bullet 138. I am positive 138. The green light 138. Real world peace 138.
Join the Army 138.
A divine feminine 138.
Baron Trump 138.
MAGA in the zone 138.
I told you so 155. '74. Keep the faith 114.
Hoping they're going to have an actual conversation and not
Trump card 114.
just go over the numbers, because kind of know the numbers.
Amazing plan 114.
Skip forward a little bit.
Oh, I'm so was blind.
This is definitely an intro.
Second coming Q 138.
Oh, they're back to 138.
Who Giant King 138.
Okay. I think what we'll do is jump over to Juan for now until I
In mass swearing everywhere 278.
queue up one of their actual conversations, because it's harder to
I am device charging 138.
understand the number part of it. All right, so let me put this on. I'll find a different one.
Well, I'm gonna see. I went from
on the sandy beach, which I never got to the beach, to the ice cold. So it's, pretty nippy outside right now. But such is life.
Yeah, but soon you'll be in the hot desert.
That's true. Yeah, I'll be back down to Vegas and be comfortable again.
Well, Juan, I wanted to talk about a few things that I had on my mind. I just had, justice or no justice is basically what I want to talk about here, and I want to continue from the YouTube show that we did live on my morning show, and that is, Simon Park says, that's just wishful thinking. He doesn't believe that there's going to be any justice at all. Everyone's going to be given options and deals, and they're just going to go their own way, is what he says we're going to see. You, on the other hand, say not a chance.
Not a chance. Look, I don't want to, why would somebody say nothing's going to happen? Because we have a long history, Nino, of, getting right up to the altar and then somebody wanders away and it doesn't happen. So this has gone on not for 20 or 50 years. It's gone on for, 100 years plus, right? There have been numerous false starts. So somebody saying that nothing's going to happen out of this based on a history is not, being crazy or a nut or something like that. It's based on being right for the last 99 times. But that's the whole point of what Trump is doing. We're literally breaking this cycle that we've been over and over again. So there's what's called a normalcy bias. And the bias is that it's always gone this way. It's never been a problem. And so it's just going to repeat itself. You're getting all excited for no reason at all. But everybody in this audience has enough history in their life to know that if anybody had a chance, let's use the biggest monster that you can think of in the room, IRS, to do demonstration things. Did Trump have to have the lettering pulled off the front of the building to make his point over at IRS? That wasn't for the benefit of the IRS workers. That was for the benefit of the whole world, to show that was then, this is now. Little things like one of the politicians said a while ago, you cross the CIA and they have 6 ways from Sunday to come after you. You haven't even dreamed of all the ways they can come after you. But Trump is in there fighting away, taking them on. Let me use an example. Right now, this second, looking at things going on inside the CIA, we see that they've been involved in helping to put leadership into churches across America in order to help move their agenda forward.
Social engineering, correct?
Well, it's worse than social engineering. And I want people to slow down, because I'm going to tell you something that's not in the public yet. It's one thing to put ideas out into the media, or to put somebody in a high office, say in a corporation, to get intel within a particular industry. For example, one of my contacts years ago, there was a particular company that made a particular type of a polishing system for metals. And that polishing system could make a super quiet prop on a submarine. And so his department was infiltrated by somebody out of China to get that technology. And so we had somebody that we got to be in that same company to monitor the Chinese guy, who we knew already had gotten this technology for polishing. Sounds silly, it sounds extreme. But in the course of learning about that, we learned that they also got another pump system, and then even encouraged a company, a huge, major defense contractor, to put this pump system on the market, which reduces to almost zero, if not zero, cavitation. Well, the loudest thing on a submarine, which submarines have to be quiet, if they detect it, they can blow it up. So quiet submarines are stealthy, are safe, and the crews live. This pump system, the same Chinese spy ring, was working to get the insides of this pump system. They actually got the defense contractor to decide to put it out in a different market, and it became public. And for moving water through pipes without cavitation, cavitation makes little bubbly kind of noises, and other detection systems in the water can hear them at great distance. It started from the props, went to the pumps, and it was the same ring. By getting one guy into a company, he was able to follow their actions, understand what they were doing, and help to close them off from getting access to other technology. We put people in companies all the time. With that in mind, CIA and other intelligence agencies have put people into church operations. Well, the longer a person's there, and if they're really focused and attentive and they got a second payroll and stuff like that, they'll rise to the top. And so within church operations around the world, and eventually back into the United States, here you've got CIA operatives working in the church. Well, one of the things that you're going to find out, and this is very disturbing, Nino, and this goes to how deep into the roots of infiltration into just the everyday lives of Americans and people around the world these operations have gone, and what Trump is going after. He's trying to rip all of this stuff that's gone too far, these parasitic operations. In the church, they actually got to a point at the CIA where they had to influence to take out a pope and put in a different pope, fit their agenda for things they wanted done worldwide.
And not only that,
through the church.
Not only that, if you just see the churches here in America everywhere, I mean, they're pushing the vaccines, they're pushing the LGBTQ stuff, they're flying rainbow flags. I mean, it's obvious to me that they've been captured.
Well, and think of this: if three-letter agencies, and it's not just the CIA, by the way, they work hand in hand with FBI and other agencies. If the CIA, in fact, had enough influence to turn the direction of the Catholic Church by changing popes, that's equivalent to influencing who becomes president, and who becomes, the head at certain departments, whether it's, a minister of defense in some other country or Department of Defense here in the United States. And eventually you're controlling the puppet strings. The puppet's huge, the strings are tiny, and yet they're controlling the puppet strings. They're a hidden controller of these various operations. If you have influencers, prophets, with all sorts of information that inject ideas into the public through the churches and promote certain things, including like what just happened with COVID. Look, that was a takeover of the world that was attempted, and it's being taken down. With that in mind, if you're Catholic, I'm not, but if you're Catholic, how do you feel about not just the Pope, but many people under the Pope, the cardinals, the bishops?
Well, that's why the Pope was
places.
pushing. That's why the Pope was pushing the vaccine. He pushes open borders. He's a globalist pawn.
There you go. And so now, are you actually going to church, or are you going into some programming operation? Right. And again, and where's your money go? People donate huge sums of money because they're compelled, as part of your faith before God, you're giving a tithe, generally the idea of a tenth. If you think of a tenth of the income of all of the Catholics in America, and then somebody at the top is somebody's pawn to kind of help redirect that, it's like a slush fund. It's a black bag operation. And these are huge problems. So even within ministry operations around the country, you're going to have to question and re-question. When you catch a spy, and you're debriefing them, you're interviewing, you're interrogating them. As you learn information, you have to go back into your history to see where they came in, who they were working with, what else may have been compromised that you thought you were okay on. And even within the broad church operations across America and across the world, is there deviations that have occurred in church operations that were actually influenced stealthily against the interests of the church by these infiltrators who were there not because of faith reasons, but because they wanted to manage and control large segments of the population. And
Juan, I know we're pressed for time here because I know you have to jump on another podcast. So do I. So I'm going to try to squeeze in as much as I can here. Okay.
yeah.
Mexico's Senate has just approved the entry of U.S. Special Forces to take on the cartels. U.S. Special Forces landing in Mexico to train Marine infantry. So a Mexican Senate commission has approved the entry of members of the U.S. Army's 7th Special Forces Group airborne into the country starting this week. What the hell is going on here?
Well, I think I told your audience and many other audiences, even last year, that would happen before this is all over, that we would make a deal with the Mexican government. They'd have to make a choice. And were they going to fight us or work with us? If they're unable, for various reasons, to address the cartels, look, I'll tell you what, some of the bravest, toughest guys in the world are the ones that are in military positions in Mexico. They've seen within their own families the destruction that these cartels have brought. They're more aware than anybody. It's more dangerous to live in Mexico than it is Afghanistan. Has been through all the wars and everything else.
Absolutely.
It's just a horror.
Well, my question is this, Claudia Scheinbaum, I mean, the cartels put her in place, the globalists put her in place. Now she's playing ball with Trump, allowing them to come in and train the army. I mean, did Trump offer her some kind of level of protection? I mean, what the hell's going on here? I mean, I would imagine she's not going to live through the year unless she has some kind of level of protection from Trump, because she is a puppet. So I don't understand how this is being achieved, Juanito.
Well, again, let's put it this way. If she got made an offer which she couldn't refuse from the cartels, you think we can't make a bigger offer? And what's been lacking...
I would hate to be her. I would hate to be that woman. Jeez.
And I said that before. I said she's in a vice. She's going to have to pick a side. And at the end of the day, we're not going to allow what's coming from Mexico to continue coming into the U.S. There's this belief, this is the normalcy bias side of things, where because we don't exercise our power, our weight, then it just goes on the way it's been. That's the difference. A lot of people don't like Trump because he has a New York businessman way of doing things. And so we've had long talks with your audience here, Nino, and I've said, that is the very thing about Trump that makes it possible for him to do what he's doing. That's, you might not like Trump because he's assertive, aggressive, and he is in a kind of a take no prisoners attitude. So he's gruff. Well, you might want a cuddly, touchy-feely president like Carter, like Biden, whatever. That's not getting anything done. You're fighting for life in a shark tank. You better be a killer whale, okay? And that's where Trump's coming from. He's at the top of the food chain, not somewhere in the middle of it. And so his aggressiveness, his assertiveness, his take no prisoners approach is exactly what you need to survive in this globalista crowd. Taking on World Economic Forum, Bank of England, Treasury, IRS. I could tell you all sorts of cases where, and by the way, when we take out the IRS, it's not done because they did so much harm to beautiful citizens. My buddy Erwin Schiff, who went to prison a couple different times to make a point and not back down because he was right. He was right on the law. He was right on the Constitution. He was right on everything. And they just railroaded him to put him away. It's like the Tina situation with Tina Peters. Tina didn't do anything wrong. She did exactly what she's supposed to. And she's in prison right now. We're going to get her out. But, in the meantime, she didn't do anything wrong. She was doing exactly what she was supposed to do according to federal law. And the state of Colorado attacked her.
So Juan, I'm just real. I know I got to jump off in 20 minutes, and I know you do too. So I just want to hit some topics as we go, like kind of like a fast-paced podcast. But the next thing I wanted to talk about is, I mean, yes, all our prayers are with Tina Peters, 100%. I back her 1,000%. But the Gitmo right now, FEMA ships are porting at Gitmo or getting ready to port at Gitmo. Can you clarify on that?
The ports were built. The systems, which took several years to build out properly, have been put in place. In other words, these huge concrete piering sections, you got to be able to handle a hurricane in that part of the world. They built them so that these ships could be sunk in place. They come in, they're nice and high, and then they take on some water. They settle them into the muck underneath a little bit, and they got a concrete pier. Now they can take a Cat 6 storm and survive. So rather than having them, parked up and down the east and west coasts or some nearby countries, they're going to move them all over to Gitmo. What's that do? That gives them prison space because they're set up to be a prison ship. They were aimed at conservatives, literally, across the country who might.
They were going to put us in those
COVID and things like that.
Yeah, that was going to be used for us, for the Patriots. That makes me sick to even think about.
Yeah.
So as Trump is cleaning
they're set up to be used, we're going to use them for the gang members and leaders that we need to pull out of the country. Other countries emptied their prisons of rapists and murderers. I mean, rapists that go rape little kids, that rape, women in vulnerable places.
Animals.
The monstrosity of what occurred. The leaders of these countries literally shipped these monsters into America, time bombs. So we have to take them off the streets. Some of them we can't send back to those countries because they turn them loose again, and they'd find their way back to America. So they're going to be imprisoned, and they'll be there for quite a while just because there's nowhere else to put them.
I heard El Salvador is also going to accept the prisoners as well, correct?
Some of the prisoners are taking back, but some of them we aren't even trusting are going to stay in jail, if you will. And that they already have criminal histories that they've developed here in the States. So we'll pick them up and put them away. And we've already done that. There's already been dozens and dozens of key gang members from these South American gangs that have been picked up over the last, look, it's only been 3 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah. So Gitmo's going to be housing the most, Gitmo and El Salvador will be housing the most violent offenders, the child molesters, the rapists. That's where we're sending them, correct?
Well, we're sending back people to El Salvador that got here. They're El Salvador's problem. They need to take them back and deal with them justly there in El Salvador. We're doing that with other countries, Honduras, Venezuela, other places around the world. But there's some of them, again, that are just so dangerous that even El Salvador can't handle them. And so, we'll keep them. We'll take care of them. They'll have a nice long life, and they'll get their 3 meals a day.
And
they will be in prison.
Are you kind of surprised, Juanito? I know that, you were expecting the direction of the country to go to a certain, a halt in the election, potentially losing 13 to 15 cities. Are we still in that lane, or has things changed? Have we kind of switched over? It almost seems like we are in a new timeline. Are you kind of are you surprised that those things didn't happen, or are you still expecting them to happen?
We're far from done. The opposition, the main thing that they didn't expect, I started to mention this yesterday on the show, and I want to get this one point in. Most of the people opposing what Trump's doing expected the actions that you've seen over the last 3 weeks to occur about 2 months after his presidency, after he got his appointments in place through Congress and they got a chance to get their sea legs. In a normal situation, it takes a couple of months for people to get into their various cabinet positions, things like that, and then kind of figure out where they're at and get moving. That's not what happened here. Trump had teams like the Elon stuff that were ready to go in and move very quickly. They already knew what kinds of executive orders they wanted to have. Trump learned from his first time in office and had gone through enough. Remember, he was attacked on the Russia stuff. Even while he was doing his campaign, once he got into office, it went to a whole nother level. He didn't get his national security advisor, Flynn, because within hours of Flynn being named as his national security advisor, they were already plotting, planning, and moving with the stroke page stuff, the accusations of all the things that Trump was involved in, supposedly with Russia, that impeded his entire presidency. And they started so early on that he never actually got a chance to come in and govern. So they've decided to come in this time and go on the attack in the other direction. And just like, the CIA has 6 ways from Sunday to attack you if they don't like you. Okay, well, Trump came in and he came in with 32 ways to attack the CIA before they got a chance to think about it. And remember, USAID is the money side of a lot of what's going wrong over at CIA.
Well, I've also had Sean Taylor on. I think that's another whole side right there, another whole piece of the puzzle right there. I just had him on.
Well, Sean is exposing the money laundering through the property sales, and so you have a house that's worth $200,000 or $300,000, and it gets a mortgage with a bank loan of $500 million. What in the world's going on here?
Yeah.
It's a money laundering operation bringing foreign money into the U.S. to be used to compete with other business people and to get politicians in and things like that. We actually have something that's bigger than even what Sean has found. And Sean is, before this is over.
Are you saying USAID is bigger than Sean Taylor's?
No, we have something bigger than all of them. It's so big. In fact, at Iran-Contra, part of the issue with Iran-Contra was it was a money and gun running operation to move arms into this area with Nicaragua, where there was a covert war being financed out of America, black money operations, guns and weapons being moved to Nicaragua to fund a war. People didn't have a stomach for it after Vietnam. They didn't want another tropical war. And remember Fast and Furious. What the deal was with these black money operations is they were keeping wars going all over the world. It wasn't just Fast and Furious guns and weapons going to Mexico. It was guns and weapons going to Libya and then to Lebanon, Turkey, and Jordan around Syria in order to get ready to run a civil war in Syria to do the follow-on from Iraq, Afghanistan, and now it was going to be Syria. And Libya was being used as the training ground for all of these people. Gaddafi wasn't in agreement with it. They did it in spite of Gaddafi, and that's the Clintons. That's all these other operations, and CIA was behind it, moving money from safe houses around the world into the region to get ready to move America into the next big war, which was going to be Syria. With this civil war there and these, red lines of chemical weapons, etc. We were being scammed, just like Kennedy was being scammed when CIA came in and said that the Bay of Pigs invasion had been approved by Eisenhower, and all Kennedy had to do was just, sign the papers to let him do it. And it changed his presidency, because right off the bat, he believed that they had tried to suck him into a war that Eisenhower had not agreed to, and that he was being manipulated by CIA and people around it. This was a full court press. So Kennedy felt that in order to protect not just his presidency, but future presidencies, he had to dismantle the CIA. CIA had him killed with other people, and that's stuff that you're going to learn.
So as all of this is transpiring right now, they're splintering all the agencies. They're getting rid of all the federal agencies, all the useless spending. It looks like Caspio's going to get into the FBI. It looks like he's going to be certified. Do you think could General Flynn be activated? Do you see that happening?
Well, there'll be a place for Flynn, and he's already done a lot from the exterior. People, they get all stressed out. There's almost like a Flynn derangement syndrome, just like there's a Trump derangement syndrome.
The whole Flynn network, they call it. They call it the Flynn network.
Okay, well, but go back to the beginning. Why was Flynn attacked? When Trump met Obama in the White House prior to taking office, Obama made a huge stink. He only have a few minutes with the sitting president, and Obama made a huge stink that Trump should not make Flynn his national security advisor. Well, how did he know? Because he had listening devices in the SCIFs, which are these secure communications and discussion areas where they're supposed to be, nobody can hear you, right? The cone of silence. Trump had interviewed Flynn for his national security advisor. How did Obama know beyond just reading the tea leaves from outside?
Did Obama not know that Trump was an operation in itself? Was he not aware of this?
Obama was targeting. Look, I mentioned it the other day. You better have Papadopoulos back on. The revelation just in the last few days with the whistleblower that came forward. I mentioned your show yesterday. The whistleblower that came forward and said that Comey, director of FBI, had run a secret operation with honeypots, FBI officers trying to infiltrate the Trump campaign, women trying to bed and make acquaintance with, as lovers and friends like that, people inside the Trump campaign to get intelligence on what Trump was doing. And that was an FBI operation. And this is before there was any inkling of a Russia thing. So if you say, well, that's because they thought Trump was a Russian, working for the Russians or something, that's before you had any initiating thing like Crossfire Hurricane. So Comey was doing it a year before that even came up. How's that happen? Because it was a targeting operation. It wasn't based on reacting to some piece of information that was a warning. They were creating a story to go after Trump.
I got to jump because I just got an update. I got to jump on the next podcast. But can I get you back on later today or tomorrow?
Sure.
Okay, and folks, we're going to Vegas, baby. We're gonna let the dice roll. We're going to Vegas, betting it all on black. You gonna gamble with me a little bit, Juanito?
Well, I'm not a big gambler at the tables, but I'll go show you how to do it a little bit.
Well, I like to play roulette. I like some blackjack. I even like some Texas Hold'em. But let's have some fun, Juanito. I'll see you out there in Vegas. I'll call you later on today.
All right, guys. So originally I wasn't planning on watching that, but I'm kind of glad we did, just as far as a few things they touched on. Number one, about will there be justice or not? And I think that's a pretty big thought on all our minds. The stuff with Mexico, I do remember him saying how the president would have a choice, and seems like she's playing along, so we won't have to go to war with Mexico, but they're going to take down the cartels, guys. Do you realize that's actually pretty pretty powerful to think about. The cartels have sort of been doing a lot of the legwork, running the drugs and things. It's going to change the face of the country and the world in reality. So that it is pretty big that they're gearing up down there. I do think the refund will come through, the $5,000 for every tax-paying American. I do think it'll come through. I think they know that we know that they're coming up with a lot, and it's time to. It would be good too. It would empower the American people, get us on our feet just a little bit, enough to weather our way a little further through the storm as things happen. Getting to spring, I think it would be good for the American people in that regard. Let everyone get on their feet a little bit. Other than that, I mean, there is some, good stuff happening. Whatever's going on in Ukraine seems to be at an end. I don't like seeing us testing ballistic missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles, but I guess that goes back to the question. I mean, some people think we're gearing up for a war with China. I don't know what to make of that. I don't know why we'd be gearing up for a war with China necessarily, or why we would need to. As far as the other part, I was glad Nino asked him, are we still looking at cities being destroyed and et cetera, et cetera? Like he was kind of asking him about, you said the election would get paused, and he said it's not over yet. So I don't know what to make of that, You don't know who's doing what. You don't know if it's this scare event they talk about. You don't know if there's really a few loose bad guys at the bottom of the pyramid out there, a few guys at the top of the pyramid still out there, or they all been taken out and this is that scare event, Makes it hard to know whether to ignore something bad that hits the news or to just go on with your life or to freak out about it. I mean, but I guess that's more for people that live in big cities. I don't live in a big city. I think if I did, I'd be asking a lot more questions right now. I'd be a little more concerned. I don't like living in cities. I want to live out with no neighbors. No offense to anybody. Love you guys, but I like being out in the woods with some wildlife, some water running across my property. Someday, maybe again, I'll get to do that. But either way, I got a couple quick videos I want to show you before we wrap up tonight. I really wasn't planning on watching that, but it's weird. Every time I get to the point where I'm deeply upset and wondering things and asking questions, it seems like right at that time, someone out there is ready to answer that, and it pops up. So if I could just hold my freak outs for about one more day, it would be good. There's a lot of things that need to change, though. I'd like to see YouTube change where they stop pulling people for, making mistakes, especially on misinformation. And I don't want to be responsible for reporting misinformation, but occasionally these days, it's just, shit's hard to, it's about impossible. Anyway, a couple quick things here.
I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Thank you, President Donald J. Trump, for securing our border and putting America first. Let me deliver a message from President Trump to the world. If you are considering entering America illegally, don't even think about it. Let me be clear. If you come to our country and you break our laws, we will hunt you down. Criminals are not welcome in the United States. For too long, weak leadership has left our borders wide open, flooding our communities with drugs, human trafficking, and violent criminals. Well, those days are over. Under President Trump, we are defending American families and restoring their safety. If you try to enter illegally, you will be caught. You will be removed, and you will never return. Follow the law, and you'll find opportunity. If you break it, you'll find consequences. Strong borders mean a stronger America. President Trump is making America safe again.
Wow. We should all be thanking God for that moment. Not that long ago, we were at a moment hearing about these caravans of illegals flooding in, all these murders and rapists. Now they're being hunted down, removed from the country. They're not welcome. We're taking out the cartels. Thank God. I mean, we should be thanking God for that moment because, I mean, you don't know how bad I want to see the epidemic of drugs end in this country. The stuff that's just, it's killing people. It's killing children. And it's quickly become one of the leading causes of death in this country. It's a weapon of mass destruction when you're talking about fentanyl, at least. And it should be classified as such, as far as I'm concerned. It should be, it should equal some high time in prison, as far as I'm concerned, because the smallest inkling has the power to kill somebody, and that's no shit. That happens every day, every day. And I watched my town get wiped out by heroin and fentanyl, and every town in America had a similar story. That was on Obama's watch, and they helped bring it in. Our own government brought it in. They all helped. They used the cartels to help terrorist organizations. It's time to shut it down. It's time, and it's being shut down. And I am so thankful for that moment.
Don't manifest with your head. You manifest with your heart. Did you know your heart produces a magnetic field that is 5,000 times stronger than the magnetic field of the brain? So if you say your affirmations with no feeling, they won't work. They must be imbued with elevated heart-based emotions. Emotions like gratitude, joy, love, excitement. You must feel your affirmations as if they have already manifested in your life. This will cause the magnetic field of your heart to reach into the quantum field and pull that quantum potential toward you. An affirmation without feeling lacks the magnetic pull needed to draw the experience toward you. It's not just the words you speak, but the belief in your heart that truly brings your desires to life.
That I just wanted to play is, my message that staying positive, it's so powerful. Love is so powerful. Kindness is so powerful. I know I've said that
Don't manifest
100 times before, but you gotta have heart. What's this?
If I say that the world is round and someone else says it's flat, that's worth reporting.
Should we still debate whether the Earth is flat?
Like they used to think the sun went around the earth. Everybody say that scientist, he's so smart.
Until other science refuted it.
Right, but back then, everybody at that time thought that guy was smart. Why at this time do we think that the earth goes around the sun?
There's an overwhelming science that the earth was flat, and there was an overwhelming science that
You'll learn over time.
we were the center of the world.
You're just taking an authority's word for it, and all we're saying is be skeptical. Sure. And while you're being skeptical, there's a bunch of evidence that's totally against the mainstream version. And while you're being skeptical and looking at that evidence, you start compiling more and more of the evidence until you become like me, you know the truth. I don't believe the earth is flat and motionless. I know it is.
There was a lot of things that I thought I knew that now suddenly turned out to be completely different. They can't just impose stuff on us. They have to tell us about it and wait for our consent. And silence is considered consent.
If the sun was 93 million miles away, you wouldn't see that.
we see in perspective, that is, the horizon is at our eye level. And as things recede from us, they tend to converge to the center of that horizon line, to a place that's known as the vanishing point. The sun rotates around us and only appears to rise and set because of the way our vision works. Now, try and watch the following video without the preconception that the sun rises and sets, but rather moves further away.
The images of your world with curves or as a ball are CGI. You've seen those images all your life. They're paintings, they're computer-generated images, or a little of both. Anything with a curve and the Earth is a fake. It's a fraud. You have never, with your naked eyes, ever seen the Earth as a ball from space. You never have. But you just have blind faith that that's what it looks like.
If the Earth were actually a big ball, the horizon should sink as you ascend, not rise to your eye level, and it would dip at each end of your periphery, not remain flat all around, the horizon rising with the camera level and remaining perfectly flat, 360 degrees around.
All the ancient cultures from the beginning of time have depicted a flat, kind of enclosed Earth. So we have this flat Earth cosmology all the way up into the 1900s when a big push was made to live on this round spinning ball flying around the sun. They are basically placing us on a speck of dust flying through infinite space where it was made from this accidental Big Bang. And we really don't mean very much, and everything is kind of an accident, and it kind of leads you into this mentality where things are meaningless. It doesn't matter what you do in life, but the more you research, the more you'll find that you can't prove the spinning ball Earth unless you're suffering from cognitive dissonance and you've been programmed your entire life. All scientific experiments show that we're being lied to about what mainstream science is saying about the Earth.
If a pilot is flying around the curve of the Earth, then he should be dipping the nose down every 5 minutes. He should be dipping the nose down to stay around the curve. Mm-hmm. That's absolute proof that a plane flies over a flat surface rather than a curved one. A lot of people have these laser thermometers. Now, you can actually measure the temperature of the moonlight next to the temperature of the shade of the moonlight. And you'll find the moonlight is colder than the shade opposite from the sun. So the moon's throwing out its own light. The scientific community have not told us this.
I honestly don't remember downloading that video, but it looked interesting, so I let it play out. That question's always going to divide people, I think. Will they ever tell us definitively? Will we ever see an actual pictures? I don't know what to think. I think we're in for a long ride of declassification, but I don't know. On the other hand, I also have a feeling like things are going to pick up over the next few months and into spring and all that. So we'll see. I'm not good at measuring stuff in the science of all that, so I can't really make an educated opinion on what the Earth is like. But for now, politically, I think we're moving in the right direction. I don't know. I don't know what's next. Every day has a handful of new surprises. Tomorrow, though, they're supposed to be confirming Kash Patel. So I hope that happens. I think it'll go through with no problems. They'll vote him in. He'll get confirmed, sworn in. Then hopefully the fun really begins and they can start these arrests. They really need him to work with Pam Bondi and finish the circle of people that are going to lock down this crap. And it's nice to see. It's nice to see these things finally happen, at least, at the very least. So, as for Democrats, I don't know what they think. They're more concerned about Elon Musk having access to your information and the fact that there's 300-year-old people getting Social Security. So, how that makes sense, I will never know, but it sort of just is what it is right now. I don't know what'll make them come around. Somehow I wonder if once the money starts getting handed out, if a lot of Democrats won't suddenly become Republican. Not that some of these Republicans are much better either. I hope we get to a day where we can eliminate left and right. I don't know. I don't think that's how politics should work. I mean, I know they gotta divide it out so they have two people running against each other all the time, like the NFL, like AFC versus NFC or some shit. But either way, guys, that's all I got for you today. I'm glad I at least figured out what that bit of misinformation was from earlier. I still think somebody turned it in. I don't know because it didn't get caught. I do wish I'd seen Elaine's email sooner. Thank you for sending me that, Elaine. It goes for any of you guys. You ever catch something on here you know is wrong or something? Email me and tell me. My email's in the channel description, but I like to make sure we're being honest and truthful. I make mistakes sometimes, but we come back and we admit our mistakes. We retract it. We make sure people know that Luigi's not dead. He did not Epstein himself in prison. That's good. It's good to know. And you're right, Elaine. I really should have caught that. I really should have. But things move fast in what I'm doing here. It's my brain has to constantly process something. So chances are I probably read your email and just filed it like, oh, Elaine says this, and Stacy says this, and Michelle says this, and put it away, and I got to do this. And yeah, it's like the filing system in your brain. Anyway, guys, yeah, we get to call it a night early tonight. I think that's good for a change because I'd like to do a few things and maybe make a real supper and get some real sleep. But I'm glad you guys are all here. You guys are so awesome. You're always here. Rain, sleet, or shine, whether Jack's cranky or Jack's in a good mood. I don't know what you guys think about the background. I kind of like the natural background behind me better than the green screen. I thought I'd like the green screen. I'm not so sure. The thing is, a lot of this stuff, if you play around with it, you figure out things you like. But I don't have time to play around with it. I just have to get ready and go every day with this, and so I don't really have time to fidget around with settings and. I know I need to. There's a lot of stuff I need to do, but one day at a time. That's really all we can do and handle. And yeah. But either way, I very much love you guys. I really do. We got a great little family of people here. If you've never joined our chat before, I urge you to give it a chance sometime. It's really fun. It's a great group of people. We joke around. We mostly keep it clean. We get a little raunchy sometimes, but you know, it's good to laugh. It's good to smile. It's good for the heart. It's good for the soul. And aside from all that, yeah, we just keep on rolling and do the best we can in the land where the truth is not for sale. And with that, guys, I am out of here. Much love and God bless. And I'm going to leave you with this weird video of singing cats.
It's time for American justice, and we need cash now. Tell the Senate they need to prepare cash now. It's time to release the Epstein list. We need cash now. Tell the Senate they need to prepare cash now. They've turned the justice system against you and me. Cash will get the FBI in line, so we are free. Cash will get the FBI in line, so we are free. To root out the corruption, we need cash now. Tell the Senate they need to prepare cash now. Need to prepare cash now. They need to prepare cash now.
Where's the money being
We're
spent?
standing tall, we're gonna fight it all. We're gonna run the world again. The words are written deep within our hearts. So stand up tall, we're gonna fight it all. Where we go,
So let's get into the deep state. Because it sounds like that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
What is it?
It is an apolitical entity that operates in government to service itself instead of the American people. And what I mean by that is it's leadership positions across government, whether it's DOJ, FBI, DOD, CIA, whatever, combined with underlying positions that are pretty senior up, who work with mainstream media entities. To perpetuate frauds on the American people, to commit government corruption, and to stay in power, and to lie to the American people, and to rob them of the truth. Once the truth gets out, their corruption's going to be exposed. They might get prosecuted for breaking the law. And once that happens, you have an explosion in D.C.
We will totally obliterate the deep state.
Trump do not sleep. He don't play by no rules. He used to say, will your president be awake at 3 o'clock in the morning to answer the phone if it rings? Shit, yeah, our president is up. Our president is a vampire. That motherfucker sent 23 tweets at 12:30. What the fuck is you talking about? That motherfucker is on it. Trump don't give a fuck. That motherfucker is on it, whatever the fuck it is. Every time he wake up, he just sign another piece of paper. Wait till they see this when they wake the fuck up, since they want to talk. We used to just being able to watch the news a little bit and then walk off. Not with Trump. Niggas is watching the news like it's the playoffs. Trump don't give a fuck. Trump don't follow nobody's rules. The president is supposed to be at the White House. Our president is wherever the fuck he wanna be.
Well, a moment said to me, and I'm forced filled with pain, way away, young man. Said I'm gonna fight a war, gonna fight for my country in some foreign land. He said, my son, will never hurt you, never harm anyone, but you must realize. If you try to stare at doubt, you will win in the end. She will burn your eyes, she will burn them. Seen a million places, seen a million faces die. But I wonder who will walk with me when I get to heaven. Yeah, that boy, I was young once. Yeah, I was tough, still on Uncle Sam's boat. Yeah, I could kill the enemy. I got down foreign streets, but I could not vote. Well, now you walk by me, you won't talk to me. See, this is my fate. But every time you walk the streets, boy, mother than you meet, you see it's too late. It's you, yeah. See a million faces, see a million places die. But I know who will walk with me when I get to heaven. Oh, my this woman sitting next to me, she's been there for a long, long time. Yeah, when I felt it pick me up and when I cried to wipe my tears, I thank God she's mine. Yeah, when I leave this world, you won't have anything but love for me. Well, the man who gave it to you, she made me on turning. I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. Wheel in the sky keeps on turning. I've been trying to make it home. Got to make it before too long. Ooh, I can't take this very much longer. No. I'm stranded in a sleet and rain. Don't think I'm ever gonna make it home again. The morning sun is rising, it's kissing the day. Oh, the wheel in the sky keeps on turning. I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. Wheel in the sky keeps on turning. Whoa, my. For tomorrow. Wheel in the sky keeps on turning. Oh, I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. Wheel in the sky keeps on turning. Oh, I don't know. Wheel in the sky keeps on turning. Don't know where I'll be tomorrow. Oh, the wheel in the sky keeps turning. Wheel in the sky keeps on turning.
On this vote, the ayes are 218, the nays are 211, with one answering present. The resolution is adopted.
Censuring Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota. On January 27, 2024, Representative Omar gave remarks at an event in Minneapolis in which she made treasonous statements. Whereas Representative Omar said she has spoken to many Somalians who asked her to intercede for the Somali government by pressuring the United States government into certain actions. Whereas Representative Omar assured the Somalians she spoke to, the U.S. government will only do what Somalians in the U.S. tell them to do. They will do what we want and nothing else. They must follow our orders, and that is how we will safeguard the interest of Somalia. Whereas Representative Omar continued, for as long as I am in U.S. Congress, Somalia will never be in danger. Its waters will not be stolen by Ethiopia or others. Sleep in comfort knowing I am here to protect the interest of Somalia from inside the U.S. system.
Well, it's all right. Riding around in the breeze. Well, it's all right. If you live the life you please. Well, it's all right. Doing the best you can. Well, it's all right. As long as you lend a hand. You can sit around and wait for the phone to ring. Waiting for someone to tell you everything. Sit around and wonder what tomorrow will bring. Maybe a diamond ring. Well, it's all right, even if they say you're wrong. Well, it's all right. Sometimes you gotta be strong. Well, it's all melody plays at the end of the line. The purple haze. Well, it's alright. Even when push comes to shove. Well, it's alright. If you got someone to love. Well, it's alright. Everything will work out fine. Well, it's alright. We're going to the end of the line. Don't have to be ashamed of the car I drive. I'm just glad to be here, happy to be alive. And it don't matter if you're by my side. I'm satisfied. Well, it's alright. Even if you're old and gray, well, it's alright. You still got something to say. Well, it's alright. Remember to live and let live. Well, it's alright. The best you can do is forgive. Well, it's alright. Riding around on the breeze. Well, it's alright. If you live the life you please. Well, it's alright. Even if the sun don't shine. Well, it's alright. We're going to the end of the line.
Seconds, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Every lie will be revealed. They're killing our children. Send them to jail. Put them in front of a firing squad. They are committing acts against humanity. The penalty for an act against humanity is death. Take them out. Whoever Q is. Q does not like child sex trafficking. Q does not like the Illuminati. Q does not like satanic worship. Do you? If the Pope is still alive. But when you send it to the Pope, don't ask him to pay for it, because I don't think he's got much money these days. God is a God of love. But God is a God of wrath. And when you mess with the little children, watch out. Because your day is coming soon. Here you go, Newsweek. Watch this one. There you go. I'm not afraid to talk about it. They've accused me of being a QAnon conspiracy theorist. Why? Because they're telling you that I am a bad messenger. They're trying to attack me because they can't attack Q, because Q is the truth. This is about the children, for God's sakes.